Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Sorry for keeping you hanging there. I wasn't ready. so now I'm ready. Here we go. Let me just turn that a little bit because it's not supposed to be that bright, and I should have turned it down a little bit. There we go. That'll do fine. Right, so yeah, we're here in the room doing stuff, talking about guitars and things, I suppose, if you want. So yeah, what's going on? Haven't seen you in about a month, and it'll probably be another month before I see you after this. Did a Joe Bonamassa video, about 4 people watched it, so thanks to each and every one of you. And by the way, just in case you haven't noticed, I have no plan. So do tell me all the things you want to tell me in the thing. Of course, we'll talk at some point, I suppose, about Ace freely passing away this week. Very sad. 2025 has been a bitch of a year, really, but every year is getting that way. So our heroes are not living forever. I think we need to figure out something about that. But yeah, we've got lots to talk about, I suppose, because we never see each other anymore. It's very rare that we all see each other. So I'll dive into the chat here, get through. I know I saw some dudes having chats before we get started. So yeah, just drop in anything you want to talk about, music or life wise. If you have any questions, anything you want to know about, if I have any answers or I can answer them for you, I will do my very best. As always, great to see you. And Scott Bogfoot was here first. As always, I don't know how he does it. Time machine, I think. But either way, always good to see you, Scott. Thanks so much. Let me see. We have Michael Tueska here with a super chat, in fact, straight away, straight before the show even started. Thank you, Michael. I really do appreciate it, my friend. Let's get this started right, indeed. Thank you, sir. Very kind of you. You're one of a kind. I love it. Thanks so much, Michael. Hope you're doing well, man. Todd Moore says, hey, it's Record Dave. It is sometimes. So yeah, good to see you. Todd, hope all's good with you, my friend. Yeah, but by the way, the issues I was having, YouTube wouldn't let me schedule a time for the live stream. That's why I had to set it to start at a quarter past 10 instead of the usual 10 o'clock. It just wasn't playing ball. It was just giving me like, okay, you're going live, but it didn't say when, and I wasn't live at the time, so it was just like, okay, you've got a live stream scheduled, but for no time. So eventually I figured it out, and there we go. Yeah, we will. I'm pretty sure I got it fixed by pressing buttons randomly. So that's all good. Coach Man's here. Great to see you. Coach Man says Dave rides again, which is the goal eventually to do so. I suppose last time I didn't really talk about my thoughts about the channel going forward and what I want to do and what I don't want to do. We could probably get into that and other things. Life update, I suppose. Some of you who were on the last live stream will want to know about, and I'll give you that too. I'm aware that the stream is probably going to be less populous than usual because there was no warning. It was just like, hey, I'm going live in like 40 minutes. And I didn't even put it up on Instagram or nothing. So, that means it's probably just us guitar people here and not people who are like, what the hell is this dude? But yeah, great to see you, Cushman. Hope you were doing well, man. Always good to see you. Better buy some Rolling Rocks. Yeah, absolutely. I'm on the old soda water with a bit of strawberry stuff in it at the minute because I haven't been drinking beers or nothing. And it's weird. And in about 10 days, I'm going on a trip with the boys, and there's going to be lots of beers. And I don't know how that's going to work out. So I'm sure I'll be fine, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about it, to be honest, but we'll be fine. I'm the older, maturest of us, so I'll have a word with myself if I get out of hand. Uh, First rule: keep your pants on. I don't like that rule. Let's jump down the chat. Hang on, let me get. It's doing that thing it does that where it tries to confuse me. Right, so let's see. Scott, Halloween is coming soon. The most heavy metal of all calendar dates. Yeah, it is. It's I guess it's a very very cool time of year. People in cool outfits and stuff like that. I haven't actually dressed up in a Halloween outfit in many a year. The last one I did was Dracula. I don't think I'd fit the old Dracula look right now. Um, and I will be in a different part of the world on Halloween this year, so I don't think we'll be doing dress up. You never know. You never know. Keep an eye on my Instagram, which is at 3 Chord Dave. If there's anything going on, you'll find it there. You'll also see me on my trip, so you'll see I'll be posting lots of stuff there when I'm away. So if you're interested in where I'm going, I'm not going to talk about it on the channel because it's kind of crazy. But if you are interested, follow me on Instagram at 3Chord Dave, all one word, all one bunch of letters. It'll be fine. You know how the internet works. It's all good. Richard Virginia is here. Says Rickorama is here. Great to see you, Rickorama. Happy to have you with us as always. Scott says I might have to dress up as Ace this year. R.I.P. Ace. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there should be a lot of dressing up as Ace. That would be cool. The dude actually, like, the dude hasn't previously got as much respect as he probably deserves. Um, I think that's something that, like, a lot of people, because a lot of people just bypass Kiss and they're like, oh, Kiss aren't the biggest band, or they're not that influential, or you know, they're not they're not seen as the huge influence that they actually are. So I think it's a one of those things where um, people don't realize how big an impact Ace has had on rock music since Kiss came out. So obviously, over next or last few days, I probably found out a lot more. But yeah, definitely think about it, Scott. It should be very, very cool. Richard Virginia says, just like old times, presuming Saturday night, 3 Chord Dave live crew. Yeah, it's cool. It's just life's just getting in the way of doing live streams and videos and stuff like that. And plus, I also have no passion for it right now. I'm sure it'll come back at some point, but right now, I know guitars are still cool, but just nothing that's come out new. Nothing that I was doing before seems interesting to me. So you guys can tell me if I'm missing stuff. Like that Joe Bonamassa guitar came out last week is boring. You know, we'll see what they do the rest of the year, because like obviously the next few weeks there's going to be big releases. You got the ES345, the Back to the Future stuff coming this week and things like that. So we'll see. We'll see if they do anything interesting. I should be super hyped by that, but I'm not, because I think they're just fucking trying to cash in. But we'll see. An alarm I've never heard before just went off somewhere in my house. If I pass out, it's the CO2 monitor, I guess. Scott, definitely go check that, man. Go and find out what's going on. For sure. Richard Virginia just got my first Heritage H150, and I must say, I think the quality control, the quality of material and build is superior to Gibson. Don't get me wrong. Still love my Les Pauls. That's cool, man. I saw Tim Pierce recently talking about two new Heritages that he got, and they seem awesome. One he got them to custom build, and one I think was just off the shelf. So, so yeah, I mean, look, it's good enough for Tim Pierce. I mean, that dude knows what he's talking about. I'll take his word for it, and yours, of course. Heritage has a real street credibility too. Yeah, I think they're pretty cool. A lot of people don't like their headstock. It doesn't bother me too much, but I guess I've never seen one in real life. So, but yeah, I think they're cool guitars. I would definitely be in the market for one if I was going to spend that kind of money. I know they have a budget brand now as well, which, mm, yeah, maybe I'd look at some point. Richard Virginia also says, I loved G&L guitars, but now Fender has bought them out. The future is unknown. Fender may well kill the brand. I think somebody said it. I think maybe it was on 60 Cycle Hum or some podcast channel like that. That you know, there's value in having the names associated with Fender now as well. And so they may do something like that where they, you know, phase out the brand itself and use, like, you know, the Leo Fender name a little bit more. Um, I don't know. I'm not push. I've seen a lot of. I don't want to criticize people, but I've seen a lot of people talk shit about things that they have no fucking idea about in guitar YouTube land over the last couple of weeks about G&L. Talking about small brands and big brands and budget brands and stuff that are not small brands or big brands or budget brands or shit. They're just talking and making bullshit up as they go. Like G&L has always been a boutique brand as far as I'm concerned. It's never been like taking on the big boys. They were doing their own thing. But there's people talking like they were trying to take on Fender all this time. It's, no, they weren't. That is a stupid statement, but I've heard it from a couple of guitar channels, and I just had to stop myself from saying negative words there, because there is some YouTube channels out there now that have sprung up, I think, probably in the last couple of years that just talk nonsense and they just get away with it. And they tend to, something like that comes up. Oh, G&L's closing down. Oh, I'll jump on that trend. And they don't know anything about the brand other than Leo Fender was involved. So yeah, I think they're very cool guitars, G&L. I've never had the opportunity to play one. I think the whole idea though of the story of them getting together to do what they weren't able to do previously, I think that's um, a good story, good company from what I can tell in the past. But things were working out for them, so now they'll stay alive because Fender owns them, one way or the other. See what happens. And as Scott says here, they didn't kill Jackson nor Charvel or EVH as brands. They seem to be able to do their own things. Yeah, to an extent. Yeah, so we will see. I think it's too early to guess though what it's going to be like in the future. Um, Scott says, has anyone seen these new Jackson Surfcasters? Are they a new body shape? I have no idea, Scott. I haven't seen them, so I can't help with that. Hey, Three Gore Dave says, formerly known as T. Tomas, how are you, man? Hope all's good over your side of the country. It's a bit windy over this side, so hope you're doing all right over there. And we got Robert is down in Australia and he is logging in with his morning coffee, I presume. Great to see you, Robert. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Yeah, thanks for joining us. The whole gang is coming back slowly but surely. It's great to have you back with us, sir. Hope all's good with you on your Sunday morning. Um, and Andrew Collins is here too. Damn, where have you been? Well, about a month ago, I was on a live stream here as well. But yeah, I've been off doing stuff. 2025 has been a fucking crazy year, man. Things have been up, things have been down, and that was just yesterday. So we have we have a lot to catch up on over the months. So I'm sure we will do it. Um, Let me see, where have we got? So YouTube is a duck. Well, feck me. YouTube is a duck. It's quite often a duck. Duck-like behavior all the time from the YouTube. Greg McFadden's here, says, cheers, Dave and the gang. Great to see you. Greg, hope all's well with you, my friend. Um, Let me see, what else have we got? Richard Virginia, I got a Heritage H150 on order. That's cool, Robert. That is very cool indeed. Definitely something I want to add to my collection at some point is a heritage guitar. So hopefully that will happen. But it's way off right now. Any new guitars is kind of way off at the minute. In fact, I'm probably going to sell some. So if you're interested in a 2015 Les Paul Classic, hit me up. I'm selling one, even though I quite like it. Even though it's got the stupid Les Paul 100 headstock, which is the greatest misstep in the history of Gibson. Never mind the Robo tuners, you can take them off. You can't take off the Les Paul 100 stupid thing. Um, so yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna sell that. I was gonna raffle it. The way Colin on Guitarists does raffles, I was gonna looking into that. But the problem is, I can set up the raffle right now and launch it, and tickets are for sale. But I have no control over limiting ticket sales unless I pay $100. And then if I don't make back $100 and the price of the guitar, it seems like I could end up losing money on the guitar, and it would kind of be a bit silly. So I'm not sure what to do yet. If I could do it, I could do the raffle for free, but like literally I could sell 10 tickets and then have to send someone the guitar. And if the tickets are $5 each, it's not going to even cover the postage. So I still have to look into it and see how it goes. But that's my thoughts. It might take a bit more than a couple of days thinking about. So yeah, if you do want to make me an offer on the guitar, though, it's a Gibson Les Paul Classic from 2015, and it's beautiful. You can reach out to me. Again, it's on my Instagram. You can have a quick look on there. Who else have we got in the chat? Michael Twesk says, rule one, keep your pants on. That's where that came from earlier. Again, you can't see my pants, so it's fine. And 2020 still sucks the most, EVH, and so many gone that year. 2020 was an awful year for losing people. But yeah, 2025 has been awful for it too. Recently, I mean, we lost Ozzy this year, man. That's pretty rough. And then so quickly followed by Ace, that's pretty bad. As I said, like our heroes, the people we grew up listening to, all of us, people who were coming up in the 60s, 70s, 80s, they're all getting to that age, man, where you can't really rely on them being around year on year. So um, it's going to happen, all of them, at some point, and we're going to be here saying, "Oh no, we lost this guy," but we'll always have the music. That's the thing to remember. The music's the thing most of us will connect with from these people. Um, it'll always be here, and they're what made them special to us. Will always be here. So I don't think we should be too sad about people who had such an impact on us losing, leaving this world, because they'll always be here with us, and we'll always have those moments, and they'll always be special, you know. So it's great that we can look back on the work that they've left behind, because someone like Ozzy, for example. I saw a vlog today. Someone was like, I remembered that my dad used to like Ozzy Osbourne, so I was listening to Ozzy Osbourne, and it's like, it's not really heavy metal, but it's kind of heavier and it's dark and it's kind of cool, and I really like it. And this is a person who like had previously never mentioned any kind of rock music. So the music will live forever, and unfortunately the people can't. But yeah, it's sad they're gone, but we should just rejoice in what they've left behind us, which is amazing music. We're lucky that we're rock fans, because the music we like is actually cool. So there you go. Todd Moore says, Ace really was the reason I picked up a guitar at age 11. I am lost for words. Again, Todd, look, I feel that way. A lot of people, and I definitely feel like there's a sense of loss initially. But just remember, your music's still here. There'll probably be more music over the next few years, that, as families cash in and stuff like that. But the fact music was so important to you and had such an impact to you, that's the important thing, and that'll always be the case. Scott says Joe's new LP is a screaming deal compared to the other LPs like the Jeff Beck. Is it not like the same price? Maybe it's a couple of $100 cheaper. I don't think it's a great deal. I think you're better off buying the Inspired by Gibson Custom, Les Paul Custom, if you're gonna go that road. Sure, it's a 59, but it's not a 59. It's a 2025 guitar, and I just like, it's not going to hold its value. Like, it's not going to appreciate in value in the same way that an actual 59 custom will obviously. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. I wish they'd done something with some imagination. But I've always criticized Joe Bonamossa's every year. Find something, and he doesn't like me for that. Scott says, Dave, you seen the new Casio Back to the Future calculator watch, limited but only like $120 ruse. Yes, I was looking at it this afternoon, Scott, and I think I might have to find a way to buy one. Yeah, they're kind of cool. I don't think I'd wear it, but it's a cool collector's item. I'm being a big Back to the Future nerd. I think I might have to pick one up if I can. So trying not to buy stuff right now, because I am still currently unemployed. But it's been close. I've been this close, but I'm still currently unemployed. So if you want my guitar, let me know. And yeah, so we'll see. I like it though, Scott. I think it's very, very cool, and I'd love to pick one up. So if I see one, I'll pick it up, and I know, put on a credit card or something. Um, what else have we got? I've only turned one person into a frog, and not sure if that puts me in wizard territory. For sure, do not worry about that too much. Eric Ludiger's here, great to see you. Eric, hope all's good with you. Thanks so much for dropping by. And Matt Van Bosch is here as well, great to see you, Matt. Hope all's good, sir. It's been a while, so I was glad to see you. Coming back to say hello. The Back to the Future Casio does look good, says Matt, and I'm glad you share our passion for that. Formerly known as Thesis, I think I'll have a beer. You should, sir, you should. Oh god, Muddy H2O is here. He's lying. He doesn't have shit to do. I do. One of the things I have to do is decompress, because Muddy is pretending he wants to buy guitars at the moment, and he's asking me what to do, and then when I tell him what to do, he's ignoring me and asking me about other guitars. So listening to Muddy about guitars is a full-time job in itself. I need therapy, and I don't have therapy's not a thing we do much in Ireland. So other than going to the pub and drinking beers and talking to people, I'm not doing that at the minute. So yeah, it's been tough. Listening to Muddy, hard work. Let's just put it that way. Um, I don't want to give anything away, talk about money or what guitars or anything like that. But what I will say is, he basically told me he'd been waiting for this guitar to come up for years and years, and he's always wanted it, and now it's available, and he's not buying it. It drives me fucking crazy, but he's a good dude. He's a good dude. Someday I will receive great rewards for putting up with him, I believe. Uh, it's just my penance on earth is muddy. William Fires, great to see you, sir. Says sorry I'm late. No such thing, sir. Thank you so much. Great to have you dropping by to say hello. A Budget Guitar Show is here. Great to see you, Johnny. Hope all's good with you, sir. Yeah, definitely enjoyed watching your video this week, or your live stream. Was it like, not your live stream, your premiere, where you showed me or taught me how to use the hype thing for your channel. By the way, guys, check out Johnny's channel, Budget Guitar Show, and go there and hype his videos, because he deserves it. He works very hard on his channel. Also, if you haven't hyped my channel, I'm not your friend. So go and hype my channel. You can only do it apparently on mobile phones or cell phones or whatever you call them in your country. And you have to like swipe across from where the like button is, move it across and click on that. So watch my video later from last week or whatever video and click hype, and then the video channel thing will go up through the rankings and all that sort of stuff. Uh, Maybe we'll see. It doesn't. I mean, YouTube doesn't like me, so we'll see. But great to see you, Johnny. Hope you're well. That was just a little rant about that. Phil Segura, great to see you, Phil. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Thanks so much for dropping in to say hello. T says wet and wild, wet and windy here as well. There we go. We're all getting hit with it then, which is nice. On the weekend, it was nice throughout the week, and then the weekend, boom, rain and wind. By the way, I know last time out, the stream started getting a bit choppy. I've been on to my internet company. They tell me everything's fine, and I have pretty fast broadband, so I don't know what was happening. If it goes bad again, let me know. I don't think there's much I can do about it from this side, though. Hopefully it'll be okay. Michael Blaney is here, says, hey all, just got the notification. Michael Watson is here, got the Michaels in. Nice to see you guys. Yeah, thanks so much for joining us. Always nice to see you guys popping in. Don't worry, David, your hero, me, will be around for a while. Yeah, that's money. Yeah, he's got one of those things. What do you call him? Inflated ego. He's a good friend. He actually forces me to say that online. It's kind of a hostage situation, but it's okay. Michael Blaine says Rush reforming sort of with a hot chick. Yeah. I mean, chicks play drums too, so that's fine. Uh, yeah, I know I'm gonna like piss a lot of people off. I've never been a huge Rush fan. I like a couple of their songs and stuff, but never been huge. Alex Lifeson obviously is a very influential, excellent guitarist, but never really been on my list so much as other than on the channel and stuff like that. So yeah, never. It's not really going to be on my radar when they do tour, but glad for Rush fans. I know their fans are incredibly passionate I'm happy when people get to see bands they never got to see before. Take your chance to see Rush now on this tour, because it'll probably be their last one. I feel the same about like when I went to see Guns N' Roses in 2017. I was like, I'll probably never get to see him again in any way, shape or form. I did, of course, but I didn't think so at the time. I went to see The Who back in the day, which is, I don't know, I was like 2005 or something. I was like, I might never get to see The Who again. And actually, I don't think maybe I did a couple of years later. Yeah, so that was cool. And then, yeah, things like that. When there's bands who are now getting to the very end of their career, and if you've never seen them and you want to, it's a good time. Even if they replace the drummer or whatever, or the insignificance people like the bass player in most bands and stuff like that, go see them. Because I've seen a lot of people on my must-see list, and there's only a handful that I haven't, so I'll probably get to see most of them, I'd say. Jeff Lynne I'll never get to see because he's given up performing now, so that would have been super cool. Sad not to be able to see him. Anyway, that's a whole tangent I could go on for a bit. Just saw the Eagles at the Sphere in Las Vegas, says Richard Virginia, was the greatest music experience of a lifetime. That's cool, Richard. I would have liked to have gone to that, to be quite honest. I'd say it was a cool show. I think the Sphere is going to have some epic um, residencies over the next few years. I am kind of hoping Guns N' Roses do one at some point because I would love to go and see them there. With like the what I've seen of the Sphere looks amazing. So, yeah, I'd like to go see a band like that or an ACDC or I don't know. I don't think I want to see ACDC at the minute because I think they might be past the good times. But still, it'd just still be fun, wouldn't it, to go see ACDC? But yeah, I don't know who else I would make that trip for, but definitely Guns N' Roses, just for the crack. Anyway, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Michael Blaney says, Desire Larry Carlton, good on a budget. I like the SP special. They're supposed to be awesome, the Sire Larry Carltons. So yeah, I would. I think Colin did a review of one actually, and I don't actually. Maybe he wasn't. I think he might be the one person I've seen who wasn't super fond of it, if I'm remembering correctly. There's definitely someone I know who wasn't too fond of it, but everyone else says they're great. Scott says, is quite arguably that we've lived through the greatest years of music, media, and culture. I think so. I think so. Yeah, I mean, well, lived through or can be connected to. So, like, I grew up listening to a lot of 70s and 80s music, and 60s, 70s, and 80s music in my house when I was growing up. And that kind of connected me, obviously, to the stuff that I listen to today, the blues stuff as well. Going back in and being like, oh, everyone says the Rolling Stones is just a blues cover band. Let's listen to what they're supposed to be inspired by. Oh, Led Zeppelin say that they're inspired by whoever it is. Let's go listen to their music, stuff like that. So all those kind of things. I There's kids today like wear Nirvana shirts. They've never heard Nirvana play like and stuff like that. Like that's just rampant in uh, society. It's a sign of a crumbling society. But I think we have music, film, TV. Like we've lived in the greatest of times ever in those areas. I think 70s cinema was incredible, but we've had some of the best movies of all time in our lifetimes. I could go into it. So, that's a lecture. We need like a 2.5 hour lecture for that. You got to take notes. It won't be recorded. There will be a test. So I'll prepare that for next about why we lived in the golden age of movies. But yeah, I think you're 100% bang on, Scott, with that. Here, the Jeff Beck is like 400 more. Probably has Gibson pickups, though. I think the Jeff Beck does, right? I could be wrong. I haven't really looked into it too much. Cushman says, like the new beard, Dave. Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm second guessing it. I don't know. I've had this has been like 6 months, 6 to 8 months now. So I'm thinking of going even shorter, but I have the little peak thing here. That's I don't know. I'm attached to that, but I'm not attached to the rest. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. When I'm traveling, I might come back looking all different. I doubt it, but we'll see. Michael Blaney says alcohol therapy. Yeah, it's usually this step. Oh, that's the end of the chat. So this is going to be an interesting half an hour. Uh, Greg McFadden says Scott Bob, the Jeff Beck is true, inspired by Gibson custom guitar with Gibson pickups, one piece neck, and the Joe is just a regular Epiphone with mahogany top and Bigsby. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that there you go. Yeah, the Joe. That's I thought the Joe Bonamassa was expensive for a regular Epiphone. It's not inspired by custom. So there's Pro Bookers. That was yeah. I have a gripe with that. I don't really like them charging over 1,000 for Pro Booker. There's nothing wrong with Pro Bookers. I'm not going to shit on them. I think they're good pickups. But if you're charging over $1,000, you should be putting in more expensive pickups, in my opinion. I've said that a million times, so I think you guys know my feelings on that. Greg, yeah, that occurred to me after I wrote it. There you go. My first concert, Desolation Angels, Bad Company. Very sweet. My first concert was Blur with Black Grape and Supergrass as support. I was just thinking about it the other night. It was very cool, actually. Back in the day, 1996. It was great. There's nobody just standing there with their phone up, recording or taking videos. We really need to get away from that. Also, the last concert I was at was Slash last year in the Three Arena in Dublin, and people were walking in to the pit with boxes of popcorn like they're at the movies. Is this a new thing? Because I've never seen that before. People would pop like usually like rock and roll gigs gets a bit rowdy. People jumping up and down. People. bumping into each other and enjoying themselves. Where's the pop? Why was the popcorn for sale even? Who came up with that? Uh, so yeah. um, Scott Bogford says, "What's everyone's thoughts on touring tribute bands?" I'll come back to that in a second, Scott. Muddy H Show with the super chat. Thank you, sir. You are super kind if you are a little bit frustrating at times. Do you prefer companies use Crayola or Crazy Art brand crayons to put their logo on their headstock? It doesn't matter to me how which brand of crayon they use. I just like them to put a nice proper design, not a bad one. I like the Les Paul 100 in 2015. Honestly, I can live with the Robo tuners on the 2015 Gibsons. Um, they're not the best, but they're not the worst. Um, I actually don't mind them, but I do, if I keep the guitar, plan on replacing them with Cluson Deluxes because that's what I think are better on Les Pauls. But that Les Paul 100 decal on the headstock, it was the stupidest thing. Like I think that's the stupidest thing. You can replace the Robo tuners, you don't like them. You cannot replace that thing on the headstock. I mean, yeah, that pissed me off. But whether they write it in crayon or silkscreen, I don't care. Budget Guitar Show with the £2 super chat. Thank you, sir. Very cool of you. I appreciate it. And I'll be hanging out on your channel sometime soon. This week, your next video premiere. And keep doing the premieres, man. I like them. There's good times to connect with you, and usually a better time for me to be online than when everyone's doing lives at the minute. So, yeah, we'll definitely keep doing them, by the way. Uh, who else? Oh, I said I'd go back to Scott on the thoughts on touring bands, touring tribute bands. I don't mind them if they're like there's Guns N' Roses, Metallica, Queen tribute bands that tour around Ireland, like just Irish bands who make money at it. They make their living doing that at the moment. It's fine. I saw Guns N' Roses tribute band late last year, and it was it was awful. They were terrible. Their sound mix was terrible. Uh, my usual gripe with tribute bands, their singer like thought he embodied Axl Rose. Their bass player was he tried to look like Duff, but he'd never seen Duff. He had just been told by someone who couldn't remember what Duff actually looked like. And then their Slash decided to be a bit new wave, and then their drummer was just a fat dude. And yeah, so there's always somebody who just doesn't buy into that. I'm going to dress up like the band, and it's kind of funny. But in terms of it, I mean, it's fine if they're good at what they do. I think it's a good night out, bit of crack. I wouldn't pay more than €15 to get in to see one, and even that's stretching it. Back in the day, that's how much you'd pay to see a proper band. But I don't mind it. Look, people are making their living doing it. I'm probably a bit jealous of them, but I've seen some terrible tribute back bands and a couple of good ones. So yeah, David Gilmour at the Sphere. That would be it for me, says T. That would be interesting. I can see a lot of people digging that. Pearl Jam would be a cool one, as well if they did something. Um, 'Cause I remember like my first real introduction to Pearl Jam was when my cousin brought me to a laser show at a I don't know what it was called, some place. It was in Houston, and he was like, "Let's go to this Pearl Jam show." I was like, "All right, I never really listened to Pearl Jam, so let's do it." And it was fine, and it was a lot of fun, and enjoyed myself immensely, and liked the band ever since. So yeah, I'd like to see them. Who else? Actually, that's a really good topic. Who would you like to see do a show at the Sphere? And if you've never seen, it's definitely worth looking up the Sphere Las Vegas and like seeing some of the stuff like that U2 did or the Eagles or Grateful Dead or something like that. Because they look pretty cool. See which band would you like to see there. Um, Muddy has done another super chat because he wants to say something inappropriate. Why do you feel like I'm watching Three Chord Dave live from the back of an unmarked white van? Why do I feel like I'm? Oh, I don't know. Because you're well. Listen, if you're in an unmarked white van, that's your business there. You just be careful out there. Michael Blaney says the current crop T Swift, not music. It's a dance review. Yeah, listen, I don't disagree with you. I don't know one of these artists from the next one when they come on the radio, or I don't really listen to the radio for that reason. Um, but I think what you have is like Taylor Swift is getting a lot of people picking up guitars, and who else? The whoever the male Taylor Swift is, I don't know. Some dude called Luke Combs is playing Slane Castle next year. He's a country music guy. Now, I never heard of him, but he's apparently selling out 200,000 tickets in Ireland at the biggest rock venue in the country. So who am I to say? If he gets people picking up acoustic guitars and they become guitar players, I'm all for it. But yeah, I mean, I think that kind of music is all very generic and melds into one. People think heavy metal's like that, or rock music's like that as well. So those people just ain't hardcore. So they're just not cool. Can you do? But they make a lot of people pick up guitars. So, you can't really complain. Eventually, those people will listen to good music, I think. Greg says, Ace was my first guitar hero. Saw them on the Dynasty tour. You would say, I'd say Dynasty tour. His solo spot was legendary for an 11-year-old me. That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, the a lot of people coming out in the last what do you call it? Those kind of comments about Ace said he was their first guitar hero. He wasn't my first one, but he was definitely like I definitely recognize his influence on the people who I do think are guitar heroes to me. But let me see. Budget guitars, do you mention those who super chat? I do, Johnny. I do. We'll just as mentioned, yourself and Muddy and Michael Tweska, who's done the super chats tonight. Always, well, as soon as I see them, I read them out and say with a super chat. So that's how I do it. Everyone does it a little bit different. But I do feel like some people miss things, or maybe just take it for granted and stuff like that. I've had conversations with guitar YouTubers, other YouTubers as well, but whether on live streams you should read out every comment or just the super chats. And it's an interesting mix of answers to it. Some people think if you don't read every comment, but only read selected ones and then the super chats, you'll get way more super chats, make a lot more money. Probably, but then is your show going to be as interesting? I don't think so. So I try to make sure, at least even on the busy streams, I try to make sure at least one comment from everybody is read out at least once. But I know there's different approaches to it. I mean, I quite often don't get all the way to the bottom of the comments or to the live chat, because I'm just stuck halfway up reading stuff. So maybe in those scenarios where you've just too many chats to read and you don't want to be online all day and all night, it becomes like you're only going to do the super chats or whatever. But definitely think anyone who's getting them should get a shout out and should be thanked. So yeah, I definitely try to do that. The one thing I would say is like you do a really good little jingle and everything, which I was singing in my car. I was genuinely driving into town a few days ago, and I was driving along, and I was stopped at the bridge, and I was like, thank you for your hard-earned cash. I won't use it to go on the lash. It's good stuff, Johnny. I love it, man. But I ain't got the singing voice you have, sir. So I'll promise not to do that again. Yeah. Anyways, I missed Robbie F, by the way. Sorry, Robbie. Great to see you in the chat. Hope you're doing well, my friend. I need to do a better job keeping out for live shows. No, man, listen, they'll pop up from time to time, and usually with very little notice, like an hour max notice, I would say. About an hour before, about 2 hours before I came online tonight, I was like, will I do a live tonight? I don't know. So yeah, I'm glad I did, but then YouTube was being annoying. Formerly known as T, is the Back to the Future guitar a cash cow thing, as in very limited custom shop, standard, and Epiphone? Um, so my beliefs are so over the next couple of weeks you're going to see a lot of Back to the Future content, and not just guitar wise, because it's the 40th anniversary of the first one coming out in cinemas. So there's the Casio watch. There's a whole load of Back to the Future merch coming out, which is great for us Back to the Future fans. But I believe Gibson jumped on the bandwagon and we're like, oh, let's do a 345, um, and the whole help us find the guitar, all that sort of shit. If they don't say, "Oh, we have the guitar, by the way," and but they're like, "But we've recreated it," I think that's the greatest load of shit that they've done since writing Les Paul 100 on a headstock in 2015. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I think they are going to do custom shop. They are going to do. Well, actually, I don't know if they're doing custom shop. They're definitely doing a standard and an Epiphone version. And the Epiphone version, I think Trogley put it out that it's going to be 9.99. So that's not too bad. That's like $100 more than I paid for my 345 last year. So, um, which like I think they made about 200 of those last year, something like that. So, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how it's going to go. I think it comes in a nice case, Marvin and the starlights on it and stuff like that. The Epiphone one, at least. I don't know what they're doing with the Gibson one, whether there's going to be some actual official tie-in. I mean, there is an official tie-in with Marvin and the Starlighters and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I'm not really 100% sure what they're doing, but I'd be very interested to see it. It is the first thing that's excited me, but we'll see. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not a big fan of them cashing in on it though, and I think they've been lying the whole time about not finding the guitar. I'm pretty sure they know. They've always known where it is. So we'll see. Uh, Robbie F says, I took my 15-year-old son to his first ever show, Soraya, cocktail, slippers, and idiot kids. Um, Small venue, amps on stage. Couldn't have asked for a better first rock and roll experience for my son. That's cool, man. Yeah. And walking into a small venue, seeing the lights, the amps, the smell of rock and roll. Nothing like it, man. And then the lights go down and you freak the fuck out for an hour and a half. It's great. Let me see. Who else we got? The Sphere has 187,000 speakers, says Richard Virginia. That's a lot of speakers, man. Budget Guitar says, okay, I am small fry. No, sir, listen, you're doing quite well. You're doing quite well. You just gotta stick with it. YouTube is a pain in the ass, and it's tough. And then it's tougher when you see other people pretending to be doing better, and there's a lot of that going on. It makes it hard for people who aren't pretending. So don't worry about it. You're doing well. It's just very tough. It really is. So there you go. That's all I can say. But keep going, man. Robbie F says, very sad about Ace. I heard it was complications from a head injury due to a fall. Really? Yeah, that's interesting. I knew he wasn't in good health. He'd cancel a lot of shows and stuff like that. It is sad, but hey, we all eventually get to that point where we ain't no more. So all you can hope for is that, he was comfortable. Johnny says, cheers, that was an hour ago. Sorry, Johnny, I didn't realize. But hey, there you go. Muddy says, how excited are you for the Back to the Future guitars? How many are you buying? Not buying any, due to currently being unemployed. If anyone wants to employ me, by the way, I'm a very employable person. I have skills. I can type. I actually know more than 3 chords. So if you wanna like a pro level guitar person, I'll pretend to be that. It's fine. How many chords you need? 5. I can do that. So yeah, no guitars. Not planning on purchasing it. And I have a 345 already, so I'm all good. Let me see. Cushman says, I gotta run. See you soon, Dave. See you soon, Cushman. We are going to wrap up pretty soon. Anyway, we're only about 10-15 minutes anyway, but thank you so much, sir. Corey Hergott's here. Great to see you, Corey. Hope all's good, man. Says, hope everyone is doing well. It's always nice to have A 3 chord Dave live stream going on in the background while I'm working on a guitar. Great to have you with us, Corey. Yeah, glad you're working on guitars. He's doing some good work. Thanks so much. It's always good to see the regulars come back in. I said that real weird, but let's not pop into it. Um, Let me see. I have an inroad to the Sex Pistols. That's cool, Johnny. Yeah, I mean, if I was looking for Sex Pistols news, I'll go to Johnny and his channel for sure. Um, Michael Blaney says, with guitars going up so much, it'll be hard to buy decent ones for me. It depends, man. Whatever you're looking for, I think there's a lot of really good. We can't overlook. There's a lot of good budget guitars, and I think stuff like Epiphones inspired by Gibson custom range and similar price level Fenders and things like that. Sometimes it can look like the only good guitars are the ones that are getting very expensive. It's not true. There's some really really good budget stuff. Excuse me. I think Gretsch just came out with a line of budget guitars that look awesome. Um, Seen a lot of cool kind of ideas. I don't know how many of them are true and are coming soon, but there's really get great budget stuff out there, man. And I think it's one of the best times ever to be a guitar player in terms of looking for budget gear. So there's definitely always going to be cool guitars. I think from here on out, because the great thing is CNC technology's come on so well that it's very difficult for them to make a bad guitar these days. Um, Once they get it right, they just put it on repeat and they make a million of them the same. So it should be easy for them to hit the quality levels that we want from them, these guitar companies. And personally, I think Epiphone has gotten so much better. I way prefer that headstock they're using now, which is the Kalamazoo headstock. And I don't have a preference between that and the Gibson headstock. It used to be a big problem for me. I used to hate the Epiphone headstock, so I'd never buy an Epiphone because of that. Now, and I've mentioned this a load of times on the channel, it really makes me happy that they made that change because I can buy Epiphones again. And every Epiphone I've bought or played over the last few years since the takeover has been phenomenal. So some of them I haven't bonded with and I've sent back. I did the Gold Glory being the standout one. I really wanted to like that. It just didn't feel right in my hands, but it's still a great guitar. The finish on it wasn't 100%, by the way, but still thought it was pretty cool. Epiphone Muse, another great guitar, but I just didn't really connect with it. But the Epiphones I have now are really cool. I'm really happy with them. Um, Robbie F says to Michael, heck, the price of food, electricity, and gas or petrol here in the US is insane. Just taking care of my family, of the family, is killing my guitar and amp purchases. Yeah, man. Like rent here, I was just talking to someone yesterday. My rent is nearly 3 times what it was 5 years ago. That's actually not an exaggeration. Um, so that's crazy. Food is crazy. I went out this morning and I expected to spend like $40. I spent 80 on grocery shopping, um, which will probably last till Tuesday. So yeah, it's the same everywhere. We pay. So I I don't know if I've mentioned this recently or if you realize this. You guys in the US, just for comparison reasons, we pay for our gasoline or petrol, as we call it, and our diesel fuel. We pay somewhere in the region of like, I don't know what it is today, but like say 165 to 175 per liter. So I believe you got to multiply it by four for the gallon that you're paying for in the US. So we're paying 174 per liter. I think that'll make you feel better about the price of gasoline over there. But everything over here is crazy. Yeah, it is getting ridiculous. Um, it's like, sooner or later, we're all going to be living in tents by the beach playing our Gibson and Epiphone guitars. I suppose someone will have PRSs as well, the fancy people. Um, but yeah, there we go. Robbie, I've got to sell off stuff. Hey man, I think that's just a part of guitar collecting for me anyway. It always has been. I said I've got a couple of guitars I'm willing to sell right now because I'm in a less than ideal financial situation, having been made unemployed involuntarily last month. Um, but I'm hoping to be back in employment in the next few weeks. It's just interesting little story. I did almost get a job. They said to me, so I'm applying for management level jobs in retail, and the did an interview, did a second interview, went traveled quite a bit to meet them, did everything, went really well. They rang me up and were like, Dave, you're one of the best candidates we've ever interviewed for a store manager position. You knocked it out of the park. You did great, but we've only one job. We're going with the other candidate. So you can't get much closer than getting a job than that, you know. So yeah, I'm still out there. So if anyone wants to hire me to do birthday parties, makeup for weddings, what else can I do? Um, Beard tutorials. Yeah, it's consulting you on Irish accents. I do that as a side hustle. Uh, throw your ideas out. So yeah, I've got guitars willing to sell. I'll figure a way out to sell them. Reverb's a pain in the ass because they take so much now in fees, but I'll figure something out. We'll see how it goes. I still have to pay off a tax bill from the business, so that's probably got to be done this week. We'll see. So that's what a guitar will pay that off. Um, but hey, it's all good, man. We'll all get back on top sooner or later. This can't last forever. The prices have got to come back down a little bit. They have to, right? Anyways, it's all good. Scott says a cheaper PRS 24 out recently too. I saw a PRS something or other for like $440 on the Tome, and I think that looks pretty cool. It's like obviously their cheapest, most stripped down version, but it was pale and blue, so I liked it. Well, I'm going to sell off stuff I don't use. There you go. If you're not using it, that's okay. Muddy says price increases on everything is no joke. If even Muddy's feeling the pinch, let me tell you, it's pretty bad. Number one's here. Great to see you, sir. It says AIO is a good budget brand. Also, I like every Firefly I've bought. Well, I believe Firefly are coming to Europe or the UK, which means we'll be able to get them a little bit easier here. So maybe someday I will find out. Benny Larson says, "Hey guys, why didn't I know about this?" Sorry, Benny. I did send you a postcard, but it probably won't arrive until like next October. So um, I tried. I told YouTube to tell you. I'm sorry, man. But hope you're doing well, sir. Hope all's good in your part of the world. T says Robbie F. Fender Princeton was 1,000 4 years ago, 1,500 now. That's like 10 quid a month. Everything everywhere is going up. Indeed, indeed. Victor 80s says guitars like the Taylor 324 CE will not make your playing better. That's what you think, sir. It's true. No guitar will make you better, except for the fact that it will. And here's how it will do it. You have a guitar that you've either spent a lot of money on or you like a lot more because you spent money on or whatever, you're more likely to pick it up more. If you pick it up more, you play more, you practice more, you will become a better guitar player. It's the only way any guitar ever will make you better. And that's why I always say, when people ask me, what would you recommend for a beginner? I don't say buy a Strat or buy a Tele or buy an SG or buy a Les Paul or anything like that. I say go to a guitar store or go to a website and pick the one you find the most attractive looking, and you will be more inclined to pick that up. And these days, budget guitars are so good that for the most part, kids are going to pick up guitars again and again because they're like, this is a cool looking guitar. Not that there's anything wrong with like the starter pack Strats or anything like that, but you know, I think a lot of people, they want SGs or they want Les Pauls because that's who they like. They see Slash playing them, or they see whoever, or they see Taylor Swift playing whatever she's playing and want one of them. They don't want a Southern Gentleman or something like that, you know, a Southern Jumbo or J45. They want a Taylor Swifter thing. Anyways, another one says it's the budget buys that I need to sell off just for space. I love buying cheap ones just for fun, but it hogs up the wall space. Yeah, sir, that's absolutely true. But it's hard sometimes to get rid of them, especially if they're good ones. Um, Let me see. We got Robbie says, formerly known as T. I saw in the news the other day the average cost of food for a family of two is 2 times in the US now compared to food in Europe. Maybe it may be. I always found food in the US to be quite expensive. So when I go there, yeah, so definitely I would say that's probably correct. When you guys, you can go to the supermarket here and pick up like comparatively cheaper deals. I found that out when I did have an American living with me. That was a long time ago now. So, anyways, uh, Victor 80s has 7 bikes right now. I mean that you can only ride one bike at a time, and they all play the same tune. So I won't get into it about my feelings about bike people. Number one says ground beef is nearly $9 a pound right now. I have no idea how many dollars a pound it is here, but it's not cheap. Um, just saying this now. Hey everyone. Hey D-Mac, good to see you, sir. Hope you're well. Hope all is good with you. Michael Tusk says, Dave, I still have your Firefly, although I'm tempted to just buy one from the UK store and see if they ship it to you. Sir, don't forget, I have moved, so we'll have to exchange some details and stuff if you're going to send something. But yeah, man, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Michael. You are one of the best in the world. So thank you, sir. I really do appreciate it. We'll see once they're open in the UK. I don't know if they're available yet. We can see what's going on. Um, Let me see then. Ground beef, stick to shredded cardboard and barbecue sauce. It's cheaper. It's a cheaper option. Formerly known as he says, Robbie F. That's Europe. Ireland is more like the Hawaii price wise. I mean, yeah, yeah. Price wise, we do get screwed a lot on things. I don't know why. I think it's to do with our government being dicks. Um, T, who are you voting for? I think both of our candidates are useless. I don't want to vote for either of them. So, and the other fella who pulled out, I don't want to vote for him either. So, I think we should do a redo. Sorry, just get political for a second here, guys, because T is, as far as I'm aware, the only other Irish person here. Um, whereas our presidential election is next week, and we've been left with two ridiculously poor candidates. I don't feel either of them is going to do a good job. Our president doesn't have the powers that the U.S. president has. They don't make laws. They don't negotiate trade deals. They don't do anything other than basically represent the country as a figurehead. But they do have to sign laws in, but it's more ceremonial than anything else. Um, but I still feel that candidates we have are just awful. What do you think, T? Are you excited by Heather or Catherine? Because I ain't. Anyways, that's maybe I'm overlooking something. Uh, Anyways, sorry. Food prices are high. Yeah. The other one says, Robbie, yes, really noticed the food tab jump up over the last 4 to 6 weeks. Um, Different guitars can inspire you to play more. Yes, Michael, that is correct. Benny Larson says, I've noticed some prices coming down a bit recently, like the DiMarzio pickups, for example. That's interesting, Benny. I honestly haven't been keeping an eye on things, but I will say this. You can pick up a Les Paul standard now for less than €2,000. It's true. Thomann are selling them. Les Paul standard faded, still a Les Paul standard, and I quite like the faded. Um, so they are like €1,990 at the minute. When was the last time a Les Paul standard was under 2 grand? So you're 100% right, sir. Some prices in the guitar market are lower than they've been in a long, long time. But I didn't know about pickups and stuff, so that's interesting. Um, Number one says the restaurant prices are jumping up all over town too. Yeah, I believe McDonald's have put up the Big Mac. Now it's like €95. I don't know how much a Big Mac is. What prices are like on the used market at the minute? Not I don't know, man, because I haven't been looking, but I know. Like I had my Les Paul up for sale for 1,600 and nobody was biting on it. So um, yeah, not a. I don't think prices are doing well. People have prices up too high. We're just not going to get any bites whatsoever. Uh, Grocery costs have been steadily growing since April. Our family of six is spending an extra $600 a month on groceries compared to the beginning of last year. That's a down payment on an Epiphone right there, guys. That is ridiculous. Yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy. F me, that's bad. All right, Robbie says T. Jack Collins is here. Great to see you. Jack says, hello, Three Core Dave. Hope you're having a great weekend. So far, I am, guys. Oh, I nearly forgot, and you kill me. It's a book this book right here. My brother wrote a book, and it's his birthday tomorrow. He's gonna be feckin' old. So if you don't mind, do him a solid on his birthday and pick up his book. It's available on Amazon all over the world. It's called Project Redbird. It's a thriller. It's about a girl who goes missing and her best friend is trying to find her. And it's a lot of musical references in it, a lot of very cool things. So if you want to be cool and my best friend, click the link in the description for your local Amazon and pick up this book. It would really mean a lot to me as well if you did, because he worked his butt off and we've lost our business over the last 2 months unexpectedly in kind of a shitty way, because it wasn't our fault. It wasn't the business did badly. It was we got screwed by our landlord mostly. So if you want to do a favor, or you want to buy Karl, my brother, a birthday present, just buy his book. And it's reasonably priced. It's on Amazon, and I would thank you to do that. I was meant to say that in the last live stream, and I forgot, and he was angry with me, and that's why I haven't been online for a month afterwards. So there it is, it's Project Redbird. It is good. I enjoyed it myself. I'm still reading it actually, but I've enjoyed quite a lot of what I've been reading so far. So pick it up. It's Project Redbird, and I asked why the bird wasn't blue, but apparently I'm not supposed to know that. So anyway, if you could pick that up, that'd be super cool. I would appreciate it. Pick it up today at a Amazon near you. What reminded me of that? I don't know. But yeah, I'm having a great weekend, Jack. Thank you so much. Muddy has got the super chats. What guitars should I buy? You know what I told you to buy, sir. Buy Karl's book. It's fantastic. Haven't read it yet because words, but it's fantastic. Thank you, Muddy. Thank you for your super chats and your kindness and your kind words. Karl will be happy that you said that if I tell him. Yeah, let me see. Do Dave cook? Any tips? I cook. If it's a basic thing, I cook it. Pasta bake, bolognese, chicken, potatoes. Very basic cook. Any ladies looking for a chef, you're gonna not find it in the three chord Dave things, but I can play a bit of guitar and I have an Irish accent. That's kind of my Tinder profile right there. Play a bit of guitar, has Irish accent. Let's meet up. It's worked once. That's the only advantage I have in the food cost, is that I live alone. The screwing from living alone is that I have to front the whole utility and rent cost. No winning. Hey man, number one, I feel you, man. I mean, I do share a house with my brother, so we kind of split some of the costs, but it is. I mean, we're all feeling it, to be honest with you. Robbie says, at least beautiful wife finally found a new job last month after getting laid off in May. It's pretty tough, the job market, honestly. As I said, they said I was one of the best candidates they'd ever interviewed, but I didn't get the job. It doesn't make any sense. But that's what they said. T says, you said you were looking for a job. You should have rang Buddy. Should have rang Buddy. You got my vote. If I'd known I was going to be free, I would have. But I didn't know in time, so there you go. Wayne McConnell, great to see you. Says greetings from Canada. Greetings to Canada, Wayne. Hope you're doing well, my friend. You see Michael Blaney says Fender American Professional are 1,500 something. Yeah, I'm sick of Fender. Just sick of like seeing all their new guitars all the time because they never shut up. All the YouTubers on their deals with Fender, he won't say anything bad about any Fender products because they want to keep getting free guitars. You know those people. Anyway, I won't get into it too much. I think people got pissed off when I made my video about what's wrong with guitar YouTube and basically said people are being stupid. And it's the YouTubers are 90% of the problems. I won't go into it, but I do think they are the problem. YouTubers are the problem. D-Max says, I played one of those Epi 1959 Les Pauls today. It's a really nice, but still struggling to get my head around the price tag. But I guess that's where things are these days in 2025. Yeah, I think here you can possibly pick them up for about 1,000 now as B stock, which is not too bad, considering they have Gibson pickups and cases and all that sort of stuff. But I definitely, you guys know, I was very vocal against Epiphone doing expensive level guitars. I don't think they should be called Epiphones, by the way. I think they missed a beat there. They should have gone Orville. So then they'd have Epiphones, then Orvilles, then Gibsons, and there'd be three different price points that you could point to and be like, okay, these are the three different levels. But they didn't. And some people will never understand these Epiphones are more expensive than those Epiphones for that reason. We do, because we're guitar people. We're talking about them all the time. But just the regular customer will walk in and see two guitars exactly the same, but slightly different shaped headstock, and they won't know what the hell that is. So yeah, they missed a beat on that one, I think. Robbie F says, seriously considering a Gretsch semi-hollow for my next guitar. Problem is, I will want an AC30 to go with it. I would consider a Gretsch. I think they're very cool. So yeah, definitely, man. I think maybe it's someday there has to be at least one in the collection. Number one says, I think he stole T-Rump's promo for his wife's book. I ain't gonna comment on that. Dave, do Irish salute magpies? Some people do. I yeah, it's a whole thing. I'm not gonna get into it. We'd be here until like 6 o'clock in the morning talking about it. But yeah, I'm not. I believe it's like an old uh, superstition thing, but I'm not. I'm not into most of those. Um, but anyway, at first I thought he said I have a lot of tracksuits. The irony of the Irish accent. I do not have a lot of tracksuits. What did I say that made you think that? That's weird. 40 notes T says stay safe, guys. I'll see you next month. Um, See you, T. Have a great one, man. YouTubers do ruin things, says Michael Beatty. I agree with you. A lot of them are jerks. A lot of them are cool, right? Some of my favorites, Steve Cassidy. I do like his content. He's a good dude. Um, Budget Guitar Channel, I think, is worth watching. Johnny's a fun dude. You can tell if you went out for points with Johnny, you'd have a great time. And that's what matters. These people, like, they're not in it for the money. And that's a huge thing, whether they're making the money yet or not. To some people who are just in it for the money, like me. So don't forget to buy the book and do the things and hit all the likes and make my channel blow up. Because the Joe Bonamassa video did terribly. But anyways, there's other guitar channels that are quite good. I don't think get the recognition. Maybe I should make a video about it. But yeah, Colin, of course, still my favorite. Anyways, rolling on because I'm way over time here. Remember a couple of years ago when we were talking about the threat of Epi breaching the $1,000 mark, and now we're so wallowed out that it's the new normal to be 12 to 15. Number one, do you remember when I was saying it was coming and people were like, that's never going to happen. This dude's making it up. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Yeah, where are we now? Where are they now? Idiots. Anyways, it's all good, man. Yeah, it was coming. It was coming. It's not. I don't think it's a bad idea what they did. I just think they shouldn't have left it as the Epiphone name. I think that screws them a little bit, and it gives them a backlash from people like us in the guitar community who are like, "But why is there Epiphones that are that much money?" They should have used Orville. It's a brand that was established that they could have brought out, and then they'd have their three tiers and be fine. I mean, look, they ain't losing any sleep or any money over it, so it's fine. Benny says, Dave, sorry to hear about things got screwed up with you, for you with the business, especially for such a reason. Flexibility on behalf of your landlord would likely have been more profitable. Well, yeah, the building is now sitting empty, and it's in need of a lot of repairs. So that's we were keeping it in a decent condition. 2 months later, it's probably in a terrible state. Um, so yes, we were a little bit behind in rent, but we were doing things that were not our job, keeping the place a little bit tidier and better kept. Like that one done was our responsibility. I'm not going to get angry about it. It is what it is. Life throws you lemons sometimes, and you gotta smack people in the balls with them. There's just, it'll be fine. The next thing will come along. It'll be okay. I lost a lot of money. That happens. I'll go make more money. And then the next time, if somebody tries to do this shit again, I'll punch him in the face. Uh, I won't. I'll just be a little bit more careful with who I do business with. Um, it wasn't a great landlord to tenant relationship in any way, so it's okay. I have a lot of it says Michael Tuska. Interesting. I have an Irish accent. But it sounded like I have a lot of tracksuits. All right. A lot of tracksuits. Come on, damn near identical faces. I have an Irish accent. I have a lot of tracksuits. Yeah. My ex's, so my ex was from Oklahoma. Her mom never had a fucking clue what I was saying. Couldn't understand a word. No matter what I said, had no clue. So I get you. Some people just don't understand me. Sometimes I sound funny. Maybe. I heard a good quote today about politics that applies to guitar YouTube. Yes, there are people or businesses buying influence, but there are a ton of people selling influence also. Yeah, my favorite quote is guitar YouTube is paid advertising interrupted by paid advertising. 90% of channels are, it is that. Victor says Baton Rouge is a good acoustic brand for your information. Interesting, good to know, sir. Never heard of them, but I'll definitely check them out next time I'm buying an acoustic. It feels like Adam Jones series may have kicked that off. Number one, it was definitely one of the first ones that there was a big buzz about them being that high. I can't remember if it was that one, but it was definitely in or around that one. Robbie F says, "Do you think Epiphone sells a lot of the bolt-on neck inexpensive guitars? Personally, I would not consider one of the sub 450 Epis. I'd go with a Squire instead." Um, I think they probably sell a good few of them, but they definitely need to up their game a little bit, and because there's other brands breaking in there that are kicking their ass in that price point. Um, but Gibson slash Epiphone don't really care about that. Whereas like Squire have more or less cornered the beginner box set, like the starter pack. It's always a Strat, right? Or sometimes a Telly, but 9 times out of 10, the starter pack is an Affinity Strat or a Bullet Strat, whatever. Great guitars for people to start learning with these days. But there's also Jet guitars or Harley Benton where you can pick up an SG or you can pick up a Les Paul style guitar, and they're great. And I think in terms of Epiphone, I don't know if I was buying a guitar for somebody as a beginner, I wouldn't buy one of those Epiphones either. I mean, my go-to would be the Epiphone SG Special because I think that's a great guitar myself. I think any beginner would look at that and go, "That's a cool guitar. I'm going to pick it up and play it." But everybody's different. So to answer your question, Robbie, I think they sell enough to keep making them, but I don't think they're important. So they don't really look into improving them or doing much more things. They know people are going to navigate towards their brand eventually because of the heritage and history that they have. Unlike Fender, who do put a lot of money into their getting beginners going, even with their Fender Play service. I know Gibson have their app as well, but to me, it doesn't feel as polished, even though the Fender Play app is kind of shit. But it's a great entryway for learning guitar, especially because you buy the pack and it has the guitar, the cable, the picks, 3 months of guitar lessons, whatever it has, everything you need in a box to start learning guitar. And then 6 months in, you go save up your money and buy a better guitar. Um, Michael Blaine says, "I like Dave's World of Fun." So I haven't watched that in Dave's channel in a long time. So yeah, I should catch up with some of his stuff. Dunzee's Guitar World's another great YouTube channel. Guitaristas, as you mentioned, a great channel. My fave of all time. And then Muddy has a few he keeps sending me, but they're suspicious. Greg McFadden says, "I remember when the price of American Fenders and Gibson guitars were approaching the $1,000 mark. I have driven everybody crazy saying in 2019, I bought 2019. Yeah, 2019. I bought a Gibson SG Special for €599, brand new off Thomann. So that's 6 years ago. It's around this time of the year. So it's about 6 years ago. Right now, it's €599. That was brand new Gibson. Imagine that. Although I believe we are going to see, probably not till now, but I think we're going to see Les Paul tribute and SG tributes come back. And from what I believe, they're trying to make them super cheap. Like you can pick up a Les Paul. They're not called minis. What are they? Light. Les Paul Light are like 12.50 now. So where are they going to bring in the tribute? Maybe 12.99, 13.50, that kind of price point. So not quite the 5.99 mark, but they're trying to reach the I don't want to pay that much for a Gibson market. If Gibson can't find a full pallet of Adam Jones guitars, how could they find just one 345? It's a great point, Scott. Great point. Number one says, of my 11 Epiphones, only one has a bolt-on neck, and it's the LP 100. Yeah, the LP 100s. I never actually picked one up, but I know that a lot of people love them. Landlords don't take care of their properties. They do not. This landlord for sure. Muddy says, I'm Dame's Lemon, and I'm not going to get into that because that could lead us into some very murky waters indeed. Never trust the landlord, indeed. Imagine after a few pints, Oklahoma Southern drawl and an Irish accent. Uh, it's the dream. It's a good time. We had a good time. And I've been to Oklahoma a few times. I got some good friends down there. And I gotta say, those dudes take care of you when you go out on a night out. I know some people from the film business in Oklahoma who took me out a couple of times, and we had some beers and we had some good times and some good pizza. And yeah, I have no intention to go back now, but it was a good time back then. $2 beers, man, it was sweet. Uh, Robbie says, I started to play guitar in a Squire Affinity Strat. When I wanted an LP, I went to an Epi Standard and spent $620. There you go. Perfect. Start in a Squire Affinity, work your way up to a more expensive, kind of better standard of guitar. Exactly how it should be done. Don't the pro players play 10 hours a day? Some of them do. Some of them play from the second they get up, they have a guitar in their hand, and some of them play only when they walk on stage. If you're going to be a pro, you're going to have to put in hours of practice. It's a job. It's a job at the end of the day. So yeah, I would imagine. So, you know, but I believe like a lot of people, you see things like people talking on interviews about hey, Slash always has a guitar in his hand. He's always working on something. People like Keith Richards have other interests. Spends a lot of time on those too, but he knows his guitar stuff when he's on the stage. I mean, not as well as he used to, but he still knows it. I have a classic light and I like it. Number one, there ain't nothing wrong with that. I would seriously consider a red Gibson SG Tribute. That'd be pretty sweet. SGs are the best. Benny Larson says, Robbie F, my Epiphone wheelchair was less than 400 and it's better than my Squire than any Squire I've ever touched. That's anecdotal, of course, and that's where I'm at. That's pretty cool, Benny. Yeah, and it'll go back and forth. Like Squire classic vibes are very cool, but some Epiphones are even cooler. So it's a mix. I think there's some great choice out there. That's the key thing right now. There's some great choice. The big brands get a lot of attention, but some of the smaller brands killing it right now. So yeah, it is a pretty cool time to be a guitar player, because you never know, if you pick up a brand you've never seen before, it could be the best guitar you've ever picked up. I mean, not if it's like $200, but it could still be a pretty cool guitar. And everyone has their favorites, of course. My first Fender custom shop Strat was $17.50. Back at the end of the 90s, I was freaking out paying that much for a guitar. Greg McFadden, yeah, I feel you, man. When I've paid over $2,000 for guitars, I've been like, this is crazy. What am I doing? And I've always enjoyed those guitars and then moved them on after a certain amount of time or whatever. Although I do miss some of them, like my Flying V, but that's a sad story for another day. I would buy that tribute of that Road Worn from like 10 to 15 years ago. That'd be sweet. Yeah, 10, 15 years ago, prices would be good. If I got a time machine, the guitars I would have, my friends. All right, cool. Let's go with that. I think we're a little bit over where I thought we were going to be. Thanks, guys, for hanging out with me. Hopefully, I'll be back before a whole month passes. It wasn't intentional this time. I did expect to be back sooner, but as I've said to you before, I'm not intending to do weekly 3 Chord Dave lives again. If I can do one every 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, I will. But I don't currently. The truth is, I don't have a passion to do guitar content at the minute. It just doesn't make me want to get up off my seat and put in the hours to do it. I don't see I don't see a return on investment hour to AdSense wise coming back to me in the channel. So I know a lot of guitar people talk about it on the channel. You don't make a lot of money on guitar YouTube. It's true. And I'm working hard to try and get a job and working hard trying to keep things going over here. It's putting time and effort. And I felt this way a long time ago, to be honest. Guitar YouTube, just, I think it's oversaturated and it sucks the joy out of it for me. Um, and what I was doing before wasn't getting the kind of views that it should have been getting. So I don't want to go back to doing stuff that's just not working. So I don't know. I'm still figuring out what I want to do. But part of me is like, I just want to keep in touch with you guys. I want to keep making sure that there's an active channel and we put out a couple of videos a month if we can and do a live stream or two every month. That's my plan right now. I have no solid plans for how much I'll actually do. Something might come out next month, light a fire under me, and I'm back doing what I was doing before. Who knows? But yeah, if you can, hit that like button, hit the subscribe, make sure you hit the hype button if you're on your mobile phone, and we'll do our best to be back on a live very soon. Just for clarity, Muddy H2O, you should buy the Telecaster and whatever else you want at this point. I know you're just going to buy something to piss me off. So buy the Telecaster, though. You said you've been dying to get it. So there, it's officially on YouTube forever. But yeah, listen, Guitar YouTube is a little bit messed up. It drives me insane. And haven't been enjoying a lot of guitar YouTube stuff, so like that I see. So what I'd say to you is, guys, if you see bad content, call it out. Don't just attack people. Just be like, I'm not going to watch this. Or I'm not going to watch that channel. I probably shouldn't say call it out. Ignore me. I just think there's a lot of bad YouTube guitar stuff being made. That doesn't make sense. People who don't know what they're talking about stuff. Not that I know everything I'm talking about, but I put a lot of research in when I'm making videos and stuff. So these other people are not doing that, and it's so obvious. Anyway, I'll cut back and not say all the stuff that I want to say, because we'll be here all day. But yeah, plan is keep going. I'll make videos when I can. I'll put them up. If you want to buy a Les Paul Classic from 2015, let me know. I will. I saw the comments. Get back on YouTube. Get back on Facebook. I'll pop in. If you post something interesting, I'll pop in and see it. And in the meantime, follow me on Instagram at 3ChordDave. It's got all the... I don't post very often, but when I do, like when I'm traveling, I'll post a lot of stuff there, and we'll see. You might find more content over there soon. So yeah, get on with the rest of your Saturday. Thanks so much for joining me. It's been a lot of fun chatting with you guys. Don't forget to buy Karl's book, because it is genuinely his birthday tomorrow. He's 36. I remember the day he was born. It's a sad day. Just kidding. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Have a great rest of your week. I'll talk to you very soon. I'll make another guitar-related video soon whenever I can. Probably Back to the Future one. I'll have to. It's me, Back to the Future, guitars. We'll talk about it. So I'll talk to you then. And that's been the longest goodbye I could manage. I'll see you next time.